This is A to Z with Mark Zinno, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, and it starts now.
Good afternoon. Welcome to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, where today I tell you I spoke too soon. Welcome in. We are live here on this Thursday and a jam-packed show for you. So much to get to today right here on A to Z. Make sure you give me a follow on Twitter at Mark Zinno. Of course, follow the entire Locked On Sports Atlanta network at Locked On ATL. John Michaels from 680 The Fan will join us here in a little bit. I know I promised you Grant McCauley, but his schedule would not permit for today. So we're going to the bullpen, and we're calling in the righty, John Michaels, here on the show today. We've literally got everything to get to. We've got Hawks news. We've got some interesting Falcons sort of side football-related news. We got some college football news to get to. Everything is on the table today. And I want to start, of course, with the Atlanta Braves. I spoke too soon, y'all. I mean, I just did. I was happy about their 3-0 win on Tuesday, and yesterday they go out and get their best starter on the mound, and Max Fried, and blow a 4-0 lead and lose in 11 innings, 7-6. That's just baseball, I guess, right? Just very frustrating, right? I mean, in reality, they should have swept this series. There's an argument to be made. They should have and could have swept this whole entire series. They lose a 1-0 game on an Ian Anderson wild pitch. They win the second game. Of course, they had a 4-0 lead with their best starter on the mound. Let me rephrase that. With their best pitcher overall, not statistically this year, on the mound, because Max Fried is their ace. So let's just call him that. With their ace on the mound. And they blow a 4-0 lead, and they end up losing 7-6. And they lose 2 of 3 to Milwaukee Brewers. And now, with the day off today, you head to Miami, and they start a 3-game series with the Marlins tomorrow. And you have this tasting mouth. You have this sense that all of a sudden, the minute you think things are starting to turn around, guess what? It's right back to where we started. And I hate to sort of second guess myself here, but I want to go back to my original prediction of when I thought the Braves would be over 500. Remember, before the last homestand with the Brewers, the Red Sox and the Padres, I said, look, if they took a 6 of 8 on that homestand, they would be a game over 500 and they might not look back. Well, that didn't happen. And so I originally said that June 15th after the Washington National Series is when they would be in first place. And now I guess I kind of got to hold to that. They're 17-21. And this is a situation where, it's only 4 games, but unless you're winning, you're going on a winning streak and you're winning 6 or 7 in a row, you're not going to get there. If baseball does what baseball does, and that's give and take take some more and then give some more. I mean, it's just kind of the way the game ebbs and flows. It's going to make up those 4 games. It's going to take a week or two. It's not going to happen in a short amount of time, more closer to 2 weeks. So that's where they are right now. It was incredibly frustrating to watch the whole game unfold. Kensley Jansen blows his first save. This was just not a scenario that you wanted to unfold in the final game of this series. And for whatever reason, the Marlins have seemed to have had the Braves number. They seem to have had a I don't want to say, I know the Acuna hitting thing is all there and, hitting Acuna and whatnot, but the Marlins have always given the Braves fits for some reason. It's not so much the Phillies. It's not so much the Mets. It's the Marlins, for whatever reason, have felt like a thorn in the Braves side for the last couple of years. So they will head down to Miami there. And, Miami had won 2 of the first 3 series, 2 of the first 3 games, rather, in the season series. So a lot left to go against the Miami Marlins. Just very, very disappointing. Shake it off, dust yourself off, get right back into it the next game. That's what baseball is for 162 games. And let's hope we can see a better outcome come Monday when the Braves finish up their series with the Florida Marlins, and then it's on to Philadelphia. All right, switching gears here. Remember earlier in the week, we talked about the Atlanta Hawks in their offseason and, where they're going. And once again, Chris Kirshner of The Athletic, he finished the second half of his column and talked about what the Hawks can do in the offseason. A lot of names bandied about in the column. Go check it out. It's on The Athletic. But, some of the names that really sort of stick out to you, and I'll throw them out to you here, that I think are noteworthy. Obviously, the Utah Jazz with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Is it one? Is it both? Is it either or, whatever. I mean, clearly we all think Gobert is the more sensible fit just because of his defense. And Mitchell is sort of ball-centric, as is Trae Young. And so with only one basketball to go around, it may be a little bit of a tough sell to get both of those guys enough shots. Ben Simmons is a name that's brought back up, that if the Nets are interested in moving off of him, could they find a fit with the Nets to get him here? I think that's interesting. Yeah. I don't know if Ben Simmons is going to make a huge difference here. I don't know if defensively he's going to make the right difference, but there is a sense that that Atlanta was at least being sought about as one of the teams to trade with Philadelphia when he was there. Atlanta native Malcolm Brogdon from the Pacers is another name that's being thrown about, trying to acquire him. Obviously, he's a very good defender, and he certainly provides enough on the offensive end. And then my favorite name that I got in this column, which I did not expect to see, and I give Chris Kirshner a lot of credit here. I did not expect to see the name, and this name, God, it excites me so much. This is why I'm making the build-up so big. DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, and I know you might be saying, why would the Suns get rid of DeAndre Ayton? Well, they just got bounced in the second round of the playoffs, and this is a team right now that has gotten close but hasn't gotten over the hump, and I'm sure the patients are thin there. Do they want to lock themselves into Ayton long term? They already have Devin Booker. What else do they want to do? I mean, that seems like a situation where that's a young guy the Hawks could get into to pair with Trae for the foreseeable future. And the Hawks have the room against the cap to do a sign and trade. So it's one of those deals where, yeah, that really, really would excite me. It's almost one of those, I feel like you should go all in for that. I'd rather them go all in for a young player like DeAndre Ayton than an older player like Rudy Gobert, who's pushing 30 and makes a ton of money. So to me, that makes a lot more sense. But that was a name I got really, really excited about. I didn't expect to see that name in there. And it certainly was one that okay, I see where you're going with this. That makes a ton of sense. But the biggest thing is that the Hawks are going to have to find a partner here. They're going to have to find a trade partner and somebody to pair with, because if they don't, then guess what? They're stuck in the same position. So I am hopeful here that there is a dance partner out there for them, and hopefully Travis Schlenk can find somebody who's willing to be able to make a big-time move with them. And if they don't make a big-time move, then yeah, I'm skeptical about how much better this team will be next year as they head into 2022, 2023. As I said, right now, objectively, this is on the high side, the sixth best team in the Eastern Conference, sixth best team in the Eastern Conference. And that's with the 26th ranked defense. So you have to figure if the defense can get better, how much offense are they going to lose? How much more can they contend? They have to find a partner with somebody who really wants to continue to stockpile draft picks, maybe continue to look at, getting bad salaries or bad contracts and moving on from. I mean, there's a lot of different trades that go on in the NBA that sort of make this thing interesting. It's just a question of which partner they're going to find and dance with, and how quickly it's going to happen. It's almost like I want to hit fast forward and get the NBA Finals over with real quick so we can start the free agency period and watch all the craziness. Speaking of which, game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight, take the Celtics in the points. Well, at least that's what I'm doing for the second game in a row. All right, coming up next, my good buddy John Michaels will join us. We got a lot to go over with the Falcons, with the Braves, even a little college football. We'll do that all coming up next right here on A to Z on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you search Locked On Sports Atlanta. We'll be right back.